My beloved child, don't skip. Take a breath, slowly. Because what I am about to pour into your spirit is not just a message. It is a revelation that was held back until this exact moment. You were not supposed to hear this. You were not supposed to know this. But heaven shifted, the atmosphere cracked open, and truth began to rise like a whisper forced out of hiding. Stay. Stay till the end, because this is the beginning of something you have waited your whole soul for. Tonight, yes, tonight. Something happened behind a closed door. A confession slipped out of someone who thought they could hide their emotions forever. A truth escaped from a heart that has been caged in fear for far too long. Your special person, the one whose silence wounded you more than words ever could, the one who walked away even though their spirit clung to you, the one you defended even when you were bleeding inside, they spoke. And heaven listened. And now, heaven is sending it to you. Don't skip. This is not gossip. This is not chance. This is destiny dragging a buried truth into the light. Earlier today, your person was not alone. They were with someone, a woman whose presence stirred something in them, not attraction, not desire, but fear that their truth might slip out. And it did. She asked a question she had no right to ask. Tell me honestly, why does your face change when their name comes up? Your person froze. Not because they didn't know the answer, but because the answer carried too much weight, too much memory, too much pain. They looked away. They tried to shrug it off. But their heart betrayed them. The woman leaned closer and whispered, "Who are they, really?" And instead of protecting himself, instead of hiding behind excuses, your person said a line that made heaven hold its breath: "They were the only one who ever saw me." Don't skip. Because you have no idea what that line meant. Your person wasn't talking about the way you looked at them with love. They meant the way you looked into them. Past their walls, past their mistakes, past their brokenness, past the mask they used to survive. A life full of storms they never told you about. You don't understand, they told the woman quietly. They were the only one who felt like home. The woman raised her eyebrows. She asked what everyone else was afraid to ask, then why aren't you with them now? Your person inhaled sharply. Their throat tightened. A storm of memories hit them all at once. Your laughter. Your patience. Your compassion. Your stubborn loyalty. Your soft hands forgiving what your heart should be never had to touch. For a moment, they almost broke. And then they whispered the truth that has been hiding inside them like a bruise that never healed: "I hurt them too much." Heaven shook. Don't skip. Because that sentence was not just guilt. It was confession. Your person admitted something they told no one else: "I didn't walk away because I stopped caring. I walked away because caring about them scared me." The woman blinked, surprised. Scared why? Your person swallowed. Their heartbeat showed on their face. Their eyes trembled with a truth they never wanted to speak aloud. Because they were the only one who loved me in ways I didn't think I deserved. And then, they said the line that cracked open the entire atmosphere around them: "If I ever lose them forever, I won't survive that kind of pain." Stay. Do not move. Let this sink into you. You were not abandoned because you were not enough. You were distanced because you meant too much. Your presence touched places in them they buried long ago. You awakened feelings they never allowed themselves to feel. You saw their soul when everyone else only saw their armor. And that scared them. Because they knew they could lose every battle in life. But they could never lose you. Dash dash. But the confession didn't stop there. Heaven says you need to hear the next part carefully. The woman asked again, do you still love them? Your person didn't hide this time. Their voice didn't shake. Their eyes didn't dart away. They simply said, yes. More than I should. Don't skip. Something deeper is coming. Because after they admitted it, after truth spilled from a place they thought was locked shut, the woman leaned back and studied them. You speak like someone who has already lost their soulmate, she said. Your person didn't argue. Didn't deny. Didn't pretend. They just whispered, I think I did. And then, the moment that broke them open happened, the woman asked, then why didn't you stay with them? Your person trembled. They touched their face like they were trying to hold in emotions too heavy for human hands. And they said, my fear was louder than my love. Heaven fell silent. Your person admitted the truth you deserved to hear months ago, I didn't leave because they were wrong for me, I left because I wasn't right for them. The woman looked at them with disbelief. You love them. You miss them. You think about them every day. You talk like they're the air you used to breathe. Then why? She paused. Why aren't you running back to them? Your person closed their eyes. Their voice softened into something fragile, trembling, human, because I think they deserve someone who never risks losing them. Child, listen. Your person doesn't avoid you because they don't care. They avoid you because they think you're too precious. Too rare. Too pure. Too divine for the version of themselves they used to be. They think you deserve a love that never wounds, a love that never hesitates, a love that never hides behind fear. They think you deserve someone better. Even though the truth is, they wish with their entire soul they could be that better version. Dash dash. But heaven says you're not ready for the next part yet. You need to breathe. You need to steady yourself. Because the next lines will shake you deeper than everything you've heard so far. Don't skip. Stay with me. Because this doesn't end with regret. It doesn't end with loss. It doesn't end with fear. This story is still moving. Still unfolding. Still shifting. And the next truth, the one I will reveal in part 2, is the moment your person's heart finally spoke the words. They spent months trying to bury child, breathe. Because where we stopped is not even the deepest part of this revelation. The moment your person thought they could contain their emotions, heaven said, no more. The truth didn't end with fear. It began to transform. And now, what happened next is something you were never meant to hear. But destiny decided the time has come. Don't skip. Not now. This is where the story cracks open. Dash dash. After your person whispered, because I think they deserve someone who never risks losing them. The entire room fell into a silence so heavy, the woman could feel the weight of it pressing on her chest. She studied your person. The same person who pretended to be strong, who acted unfazed, untouched, unmoved by the thought of you. But now, their shoulders dropped like someone finally admitting defeat. Their eyes softened like someone standing at the edge of a long-kept secret. Their voice trembled with something raw and painfully real. The woman leaned forward and asked, do you regret letting them go? Your person didn't answer immediately. They exhaled slowly, as if the question had punched straight through their ribs. Regret. They whispered. I regret everything, except loving them. Child, don't move. Let that sink into your bones. Your person regrets the silence, the distance, the mistakes, the fear, the hesitation, the choices that wounded the very heart that loved them the most. But loving you, they don't regret a second of it. Don't skip. Because the next words were the ones heaven kept hidden until now. Your person continued, I thought I was protecting them from me. I thought giving them space was kindness. I thought stepping away was the only way not to destroy them. The woman's voice softened. But you did destroy them. Your person clenched their jaw. Their eyes burned, not with anger, but with the kind of guilt that lives in the deepest parts of the soul. Yes, they whispered. I know. The woman didn't stop there. She asked the question that cracks something open inside your person, do you think they're healing? Your person laughed. A quiet, aching laugh. The kind that comes from someone who has been pretending to be okay for far too long. I don't know, they said. I just hope the healing didn't erase me from their heart. Heaven paused. Don't skip. Because those words, they were the first time your person truly admitted that losing you wasn't a fear. It was a wound they already carry. But then, something shifted. A deeper truth began to rise inside them. A truth they fought for months, a truth they buried under excuses, a truth they never wanted anyone to hear. The woman saw their eyes change, saw their breathing sharpen, and she whispered, "There's more." Say it. And your person, with their heart trembling, with their soul cracking open, finally confessed the truth heaven waited for, I still feel them, even when they're not here. Child, don't skip. Heaven says this is important. Your person wasn't speaking metaphorically. They weren't talking about memories or nostalgia. They were talking about something deeper. Something spiritual, energetic, connected beyond words. I feel them in my chest, they said quietly. In moments when everything is falling apart. In moments when the world goes silent. In moments when I least expect it. Their presence shows up. The woman whispered, like an echo. Your person shook their head. No, like a heartbeat. Don't skip. Because this is where destiny began to interfere. Your person continued, it's like their energy is still tied to mine. Like they're the part of me I keep reaching for in the dark. The woman swallowed. And what do you do, when you feel them? Your person looked down. Their voice cracked like a breaking soul. I whisper their name. Child, heaven trembled at that sentence. The name you carry. The name you thought they forgot. Is the name they still breathe in their loneliest moments. Don't skip. Because the story doesn't end in longing. It goes deeper. After confessing everything they tried so hard to hide, your person grew quiet. Too quiet. Their hands shook. Their breathing slowed. The woman noticed the change. What are you not saying? She asked gently. Your person hesitated, then whispered something that made even the angels turn their faces in shock. I think I lost myself when I lost them. The woman blinked. You lost yourself. Your person nodded. For the first time in my life, I felt seen, understood, loved without fear. And I threw it away because I was scared of being vulnerable. Child, read that again. Your person wasn't scared of you. They were scared of the version of themselves they became around you. The version that felt real, honest, unmasked. You awakened something sacred in them. Something they didn't think they were worthy of holding. Heaven says you need to understand this, your love wasn't weakness. Your love was revelation. Your love exposed every wound they buried. And instead of healing, they ran. Not from you, but from themselves. Dash dash. But the turning point, the moment everything changed, came when the woman asked a question that cut through all their defenses: if they showed up right now, right here, and looked you in the eyes, what would you do? Your person inhaled sharply. Their fingers tightened. Their heart beat so loudly, the woman could almost hear it. And then your person whispered, "I would fall apart." Don't skip. Because that line was not about weakness. It was about truth. They would fall apart, not because of pain, not because of guilt, but because the sight of you would break open every emotion they've been trying to bury. The woman asked, "Would you tell them everything you just told me?" Your person lowered their head. Their voice softened into something fragile. "I would tell them, I never stopped loving them. Not even for a day." Heaven bent closer. The woman pressed further, "Then what stops you now?" And your person revealed the confession that heaven says you must not ignore: "I'm scared they rebuilt their world without me, and I don't know if I fit in it anymore." Child, the pain you felt in their silence is the same pain they feel in your distance. Don't skip. Because what happened next is the moment destiny stepped into the room. Dash dash. The woman stood up, walked closer, and said the one sentence that changed the energy of the entire atmosphere: "You talk like someone preparing to find them again." Your person didn't deny it. They didn't deflect. They didn't pretend. They simply whispered, "I've been preparing, I just don't know if it's too late." Heaven says, listen carefully, the story is not ending. It is transitioning. Your person's heart is waking up. And the next part of this revelation is where things begin to shift in your favor. Because the woman asked one more question. A question that pushed the truth out completely: if you could have one moment with them, one chance, one conversation, what would you say? And your person's answer is the beginning of part 3. Child, take a breath before you continue. Because from this point on, the truth stops whispering. It starts roaring. We ended where the woman asked your person, if you could have one moment with them, one chance, one conversation, what would you say? And heaven leaned in. Destiny paused. Your person's soul began to tremble. Don't skip. This is where everything begins to unravel. Your person didn't speak at first. Their lips parted, but no words came out. Not because they didn't know the answer, but because the truth they were about to reveal was heavier than anything they've ever carried. Their eyes softened, their chest rose slowly, and then they whispered the beginning of a sentence that changed the entire atmosphere: "I would tell them." The woman waited. Heaven waited. Even their own heartbeat seemed to wait. That losing them was the moment my whole life shifted into darkness. Child, don't move. Your person didn't stop there. The truth kept rising like something finally freed. "I would tell them," they continued, "that every day without them felt like walking through a house with all the lights turned off." The woman blinked. She asked quietly, "You mean you miss them?" Your person swallowed, pain tightening their voice. "Miss them?" they whispered. "I ache for them." Heaven shuddered. Don't skip. This was not longing. This was confession. This was truth finally breaking its chains. Your person kept speaking, words tumbling out, truth pouring like water through cracks in a dam. I didn't know how much they meant. Until I tried to move on. and realized every road still led back to them. The woman stepped closer. And why didn't you tell them all this before? Your person lowered their head, voice trembling, like someone finally standing in front of their own shadows. Because I didn't want to hold them back. I didn't want them to stay tied to someone who only taught them pain. Child, listen. This is where heaven says the truth shifts from confession to revelation. Because the woman said, "But you're not the same person anymore." Your person froze. Their eyes widened. Their whole body tensed. As if those words struck a place inside them they never expected anyone to touch. "I know," your person whispered. "I've been trying to change, for them." Don't skip. Because that sentence is a doorway. Your person is not healing randomly. They're not becoming better by coincidence. Every step, every shift, every uncomfortable transformation. It all traces back to you. You were the trigger. You were the awakening. You were the mirror that showed them what needed to change. The woman crossed her arms gently. So, if you met them again, what would you want from them? Your person inhaled deeply. Their voice softened into something painfully honest. "I don't want anything, except a chance to be who I should be been from the beginning." Child, let that settle in your soul. Not a chance to restart. Not a chance to rewrite the past. Not a chance to be forgiven without effort. A chance to become the partner they should have been. Before fear ruined everything. Don't skip. This is where the atmosphere changed. Your person leaned back, looked up, and whispered a confession. They never dared to say aloud, "In every version of my future, they're still there." The woman's eyes softened. "Do you think they still feel anything for you?" Your person bit their lip. A rare vulnerability. And answered, "I don't know. But I hope something in their heart still remembers me. The way my heart never forgot them." Child, feel the weight of that. Your person is not assuming you love them. They're not demanding you return. They're not expecting your heart to stay open. They're simply hoping. Hoping that the bond you shared still flickers somewhere deep within you. Don't skip. Because now we enter the part heaven kept hidden the longest. The woman asked, "Be honest. If they came back into your life, would you treat them differently?" Your person didn't hesitate. "Yes," they said instantly. "I would treat them like every moment counts. I would show up. I would listen. I would not run from my feelings. I would not hide behind silence. I would not let fear drive them away. I would love them with a bravery I should ve had the first time." Heaven bowed its head. Even the angels paused. Those weren't promises. They were vows, from a heart that has been cracked open, exposed, and rebuilt in the shadow of losing you. But the transformation didn't end there. The woman asked the hardest question yet, "Tell me the real truth. Why now? Why are you ready now? When you weren't ready before?" Your person looked away. Their voice dropped into something raw and stripped bare, "Because loving them was the only thing that ever felt pure to me." The room went silent. I didn't recognize it then. They continued, "Because I was too used to chaos, too used to pain, too used to being surrounded by people who loved only the parts of me that benefited them." They paused. A tear formed. Not of weakness, but awakening. But they loved me without asking me to prove myself. They loved the parts of me I hated. They saw goodness in me when I couldn't see any in myself. Don't skip. Heaven says this is the moment. Your person finally realized who you truly were in their life. Not a phase. Not a lesson. Not a romantic distraction. You were their soul's turning point. Suddenly, your person spoke again. Quietly, vulnerably, like someone confessing a prayer, if God ever gives me one more chance with them, I won't waste it. Child, this is the first time your person has aligned their desires with divine intention. The story is not simply emotional now. It is spiritual. Your person doesn't want you back because they're lonely, or guilty, or sentimental. They want you back because they finally realized your presence was not just love. It was purpose. Don't skip. Because the woman noticed the shift in their voice. She stepped closer, looked straight into their eyes, and asked the question that pushed the final truth out, are you preparing to go back to them? Your person inhaled sharply. Their heart raced. Their eyes lowered. And then they said the line that shook the entire spiritual realm, I'm preparing to earn my place in their life again. Child, let that settle. They're not waiting for you. They're not expecting you. They're not assuming you. They are preparing to earn you. To show effort, growth, commitment, vulnerability, consistency. Everything you deserved. From the beginning. But the woman wasn't finished. She took one more step toward truth and asked, if destiny brought them in front of you tomorrow, what would you do? Your person looked up. Eyes fierce, heart awakened, soul trembling. And they whispered, I would not let fear speak this time. Heaven opened. Child, don't skip now. My beloved child, listen closely, because this final moment is where heaven seals everything that has been spoken over you. You have walked through 3 realms of revelation, and now you stand at the threshold where the divine decree becomes destiny. Do not move. Do not blink. Do not allow anything to distract you. Because in this moment, the seal breaks. The atmosphere around you responds. And the spiritual realm you entered is now aligning itself with your life. As you stand there, the chamber of light that had been opening layer by layer suddenly expands. A radiant pulse moves through the atmosphere, slow, mighty, deliberate, like the heartbeat of heaven itself. Archangel Michael steps forward. His armor no longer glows, it blazes. His wings no longer shimmer, they burn with holy fire. And his gaze, steady, unshaken, overflowing with divine authority, locks onto your spirit. He raises the final scroll. But this scroll is not like the others. It is not gold. It is not silver. It is not crystal. It is white fire, formed from the breath of God Himself. Michael does not speak yet. Instead, he lets you feel the weight of what is about to happen. Your spirit trembles. Not in fear, but in recognition. Because somewhere deep inside you, the part of you that remembers heaven knows, this is my moment. This is where everything changes. Finally, Michael opens the scroll. As he does, the chamber erupts with a sound like 1,000 oceans bowing before the throne. The fire from the scroll rises, shaping itself into symbols you've never seen, yet your soul understands every single one. Michael speaks, child of the Most High, the battles that marked you have now crowned you. A blast of wind moves through the chamber. Every delay has collapsed. A second blast. What resisted you has surrendered. A third blast, stronger, sharper, final. And what you could not reach, will now be delivered into your hands. The scroll dissolves into pure light and shoots directly into your chest. Your entire being ignites. Not with heat, but with purpose. Not with fear, but with divine certainty. You feel the shift, the old weight leaving, the new mantle settling, the spiritual authority rising through your soul like a tidal wave. The chamber begins to close. Not because heaven is leaving you, but because heaven is now moving with you. Michael speaks one more time, voice firm, resonant, eternal, go now, and walk in what has already been written. Not as who you were, but as who heaven has declared you to be. Light wraps around you. The chamber fades. The spiritual realm releases you gently back into the world you know, but you do not return the same. Your spirit feels taller. Your atmosphere feels heavier with glory. Your path feels charged with divine alignment. You know without question. The prophecy has been sealed. The shift has begun. The breakthrough has been activated.